I just want to have one last look at this Tudor Bronze Edition Black Bay 58 before I return it to Lifestyle Watches.
Any ideas?
If I just recap on the NATO strap, it looks okay, doesn't it? It's not very good, it's very retro-y, and it's not long enough if you ask me, guys. This is just too short. It really is a very short NATO strap. What would have been a lovely touch is if you look at the back of the watch, that's actually not brass, that's PVD coated, or whatever the process they've done. It would have been just a nice touch for them to coat these pins. That would have been a nice touch. You could say, well, you're never going to see them. You will see them if you look. And also, it would have been really nice if they'd have PVD coated the inside of the buckle. I mean, you can visually see it, it's not hidden. And it would have been just a nice touch. That's pretty much all I can say on the buckle. I couldn't see myself wearing this on this particular NATO strap, so maybe it's just something you keep in the box for decorative features. Now, the watch itself, I genuinely like this watch. I like the color of the bezel. I like the dial, the chocolate dial. I love the 3, the 6, and the 9. I just love the hands. But from here, holding it in my hand, I can actually quite clearly smell this watch. Now, you could argue, you know, what do you expect? It's brass. I said, well, I just got a right shock how it stinks. I mean, it just really does permeate. Just terrible smell. And I'm sure there are loads of collectors out there screaming at me going, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But does anybody actually wear one of these as a daily? I'd be interested to know how bad they smell. And then I don't appreciate the fact, I'll show you this side, that these are stepped. See the stepped? It's just, I just don't get why it's not tapered. The fake rivets, they're not needed, so don't put them on the watch. This clasp is a massive improvement on the standard Tudor. Now, I haven't sized this watch, but if I wanted to size it, I know that I could get a really good fit with this T-clasp. And just a bugbear for me with this T-clasp is you obviously open it very Rolexy, close it, but in the locked position, it allows you to close it again. You see that? Now that, to me, I think that's poor design execution if you ask me. But now the bracelet itself, if you take the bracelet away from the watch doesn't smell so bad. And maybe it was a bad decision on Tudor's point to make an all brass watch, because the feedback I've had is that what do you expect? Brass stinks. When I separate the watch from the bracelet, I don't get a smell. And I'm going to assume that the watch is made from a different material, a slight different mixture. It is a slightly different color. It's a different texture. And it's not really picking it up on the camera, but you can see that the tones are just different. It's more of a brushed. I would say it's more of a brushed effect on the bracelet and more of a satin finish on the case. My wrist is 6 3/4, and I have a normal size wrist if you ask me. And I mean, the watch does look okay on there. For me, it's a bit small, if I'm being entirely honest with you. This is a small watch for me. It really, it doesn't look, when I put it on the wrist, it doesn't give me, you know, that, you know, I've spent all this money and now look at this gorgeous watch I've got. It just doesn't do that for me. I would hazard a guess that there's a lot of people who own this watch as part of their Tudor watch collection. Does that make sense? So you would have this watch, and you would have the Harrods, and you'd have the GMT. It is the truth. There are Tudor collectors out there that this is in the box and they say they love the watch. And that's fair enough. That's what they want to do. But I would not wear this as a daily. I don't know if I covered the Lume. I love the 3, the 6 and the 9. But under testing, the Lume on the 3, 6 and 9 was completely dead after 12 minutes. And then the rest of the watch was dead after 30 minutes. Now, you know, through the night, a nighttime watch, you know, that's 8 hours. So that's shocking, really, isn't it? It's not even 10% lastability of a Lume. I mean, I dread to think if you were diving with this watch, because you will not be able to read that hand after 20 minutes. That hand keeps going for about 35 minutes. I did an hour Lume test, by the way, but I thought the camera was picking up, but the camera stopped picking up around here, and the hour hand died after when the minute hand was dead, but the hour hand died around there. That's 45 minutes. So the minute hand is what you would be using for your breathability. I mean, there's nobody using these watches to dive with, but it is a dive watch. Now, being a watch collector, I still see the beauty in this watch. And I'm just trying to think, well, this watch is too small for me. What would you want from a Tudor? Well, I would want a bigger case, a better bracelet, and the better clasp. And the obvious solution would be go for one of the new Jubilees that they have. So I think that would be the next Tudor I would want to try and see if I can get hold of. By the way, there is QC problems on this watch. This watch needs to go back for a warranty check, if you ask me. If you look at this bezel here, it's misaligned and there's too much play in it. Look, I'm not even anywhere near the other click yet. You see that play? It still hasn't clicked in, and then when it clicks in on the other one, it's not aligned, it's way off. Now, one of my subscribers said that the pointy hand thing is off. I can't see it. That's the 12 o'clock. I can't see it. And it's funny, it must be a watch collecting thing, because I wanted to let you hear this. That sounds okay, doesn't it? Just like, look at the, just click past, but so you have to physically try to get it into the 12 to make it look like it's on the 12. Yeah, it's on the 12 now, and it's not even clicking. Let me try and get it on the 12. There you go. I give up with this watch. A hard pass for me on if you want to buy this watch as a usable timepiece. That's what I'm trying to tell you. And you just got to trust me on that. Take all the hate of it out. Do you want to pay pre-owned £2,850 for a watch that stinks? Hang on, let me do a smell test. Smell the watch. Can smell the coin. I don't think I can smell the coin. I think my hands stink of the watch. If, when you're in the boutique, they say, listen, we've got a watch that after you put it down, your hands are going to stink. Would you like to buy it? I think you would go, no, I think I'll pass on Stinky. the Tudor Black Bay 58 Bronze Edition. I'm going to rename it the Stinky. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, this is just my opinion, and no watchers were harmed in the making of this video.